Good afternoon, everyone. For those who do not know me, my name is Heather Buck. I am here to persuade you that medication should not be the first method for treating ADHD in children. Has anyone ever seen a small child at a park, in a grocery store, or maybe even in a restaurant who seemed to be a little bit more hyper than a normal child? What was the first thing that came to your mind? Do you think the child was being a normal child, or would you think the child has ADHD? Do you know what ADHD is? How would you know if that child had ADHD just by seeing that child? During my speech, I will be discussing many things about ADHD. To give you some background information, like what it is, the side effects of medication, other treatment methods, and why I believe medication should be the last treatment method in treating ADHD in children. Do you believe ADHD is an actual disorder? Do you know what ADHD even stands for? ADHD stands for Attention Deficit and Hyperactivity Disorder. According to the CDC website, ADHD is one of the most common neurodevelopmental disorders of childhood. It is usually first diagnosed in childhood and often lasts into adulthood. Although it is normal for children to have trouble focusing and behaving at one time or another, however, children with ADHD do not grow out of these behaviors. The symptoms continue and can be severe, can cause difficulty at school, home, or with friends. Some symptoms for ADHD, according to the Mayo Clinic website, a child that may have ADHD might have trouble staying focused or playing, appear to not listen when spoken to directly. They may also blurt out answers, interrupting the question. They may also be easily distracted and have a hard time sitting still. These are just a few examples of what a child with ADHD might do. Transition. How do you think children are being overly diagnosed with ADHD? Do you think they are? According to the article on kids' mental health, there was a boy who was having trouble at school. He couldn't sit still or focus on his classwork, and sometimes he'll act up in class to get attention. The school had labeled the boy as having ADHD, which is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and urged the parents to see a doctor immediately, and the doctor prescribed a stimulant. The medication suppressed the boy's behavior, but it also made him anxious, irritable, and sleepless. The parents then became concerned once they returned to the doctors, seeing an alternative. The doctor asked the family's history and learned that the mother had suffered from postpartum depression, and the parents had separated when the boy was 3, to later be reunited. The son was sensitive and a fearful child who suffered from anxiety and whose ADHD-like symptoms were first observed after his father left home. The family had never sought therapy or made the connection between the boy's early childhood experience and symptoms. The doctor held a parent and guidance session with the parents and referred the boy to a psychologist for his anxiety. He was weaned off his medication and his symptoms went away. From listening to the story, you may see one example why medication should not be the first method in treating ADHD, and not really have it, but due to the lack of trying other methods, like seeing a child psychologist, this child was put on medication. According to the ADHD is overdiagnosed, leading in needless and harmful treatment article in the United States, about 87% of children are diagnosed with ADHD and prescribed medication, mostly such as Ritalin or Adderall. Have you guys ever heard of those drugs? ADHD drugs are linked to serious side effects, including liver toxicity, weight loss, sleep problems, mood swings, even the thought of suicide. They can also interfere with growth. When it comes to treatment options of ADHD, there is many, including diet, children staying away from certain foods such as sugars, gluten, as well as removing preservatives and dye. Other treatment methods include seeing a psychologist to find out if there really is ADHD and no other underlying causes for the behavior. Keeping a child active is also a treatment method. According to the article on Kids' Mental Health, activities like moving the body every day through bike riding, skateboarding, scheduled activities like screen time, video games, they should be limited. In conclusion, to the side effects of the medication on children, it is my belief that medication should be the last method, as not all cases of ADHD will show improvement with the other treatment plans, as well as children may not have ADHD and can possibly be another underlying cause.